The Bastion Munich vs PXG match is now down to its last goal, meaning Blue Lock's new Egoist League Arc 2 is also nearing its end. It's a pretty bittersweet feeling for me, but for now, let's at least savor what we have left of Rini posing Isagi. What's going on, everybody? My name is Animasu, and today I'll be covering Blue Lock chapter 276 with you all, titled The Last. If you enjoy Blue Lock and want to stay updated or just want to support the channel, please feel free to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and even join my community Discord if you'd like to interact directly. Without further ado, let's get right into the aftershocks of itoshi monstrous body shot. Blue Lock chapter 276 starts off with fans roaring in excitement from all over the world. Their watching devices for Blue Lock TV flash, zoom into the action as echoes scream within every bar and household. With one final scream to confirm it, the announcers state that PXG are now equalized against Bastion Munich at 2-2. At the 11th hour after a dramatic build-up, itoshi has caught the attention of the entire world and made his mark against BM. Despite blood still dripping down from his nose and onto his hand, itoshi looks more excited than ever, as he scored with all of it on the line. Nanase, of course, is just happy for him finally to put one in. Meanwhile, Ryusei and Karasu are shown to be traumatized by this spectacular shot. In comes Charles Chevalier, then sprinting up the pitch, singing out to Rin about how insane he truly is. Dropping into a squat while pointing in his direction, Charles states the obvious fact of itoshi shot being undeniably incredible, and also his nose happens to be gushing with blood all over the pitch. Going from one insane expression to another, Charles finally just tells Rin that he knows for sure he has a screw loose somewhere in his brain. This, however, just further entices Charles, so while dropping a devil emoji like the teenager he is, he actually gives full props to Rin. Swooping in to finish the contrarian duo, shidou ryusei then takes Charles' attention away by asking what striker he thinks is better, shidou himself or itoshi Rin. I guess it was a rhetorical question, because without giving Charles time to respond, shidou goes on to say about how much he hates itoshi Rin's personality and his lower eyelashes. Despite that, his goal just now was undeniably a work of art, meaning shidou will set aside his hatred for now and simply give a compliment. Rin, of course, is sitting on the ground with a bloodied nose, just dazed and confused, specifically shown to not understand shidou's terminology, like calling a goal or kapew. Any interaction between shidou and Rin will either result in comedy gold or the most awesome thing ever, and now adding Charles into the mix, things only get more insane. Shidou even goes on to crouch down with his arm around Charles, telling him to listen up very closely. While staring itoshi Rin directly in his eyes with a wicked smile, shidou tells Charles to decide which of the two strikers is the absolute craziest. While then even touching his forehead against Rin's, shidou specifies by saying whoever will change the world should be the target of Charles' passing. Rather than just selfishly wanting every pass sent his way, shidou ryusei would prefer the challenge of needing a standard to meet and a rival to face. Beyond that, Charles operates best when left to his own free will and instinctual choices, so shidou is high-key an amazing coach and older brother here. To end off PXG's hilarious interactions, Charles even begins poking Rin's hurt nose while telling him to plug it up. You can't play if you lose too much blood. I'm telling you, Charles is one of my new favorite characters in all of Blue Lock, and once again, shidou ryusei is still to thank for the interactions. Isagi yoichi is also shown kneeling on the ground in disbelief, and he can just not figure out what's happening at all. What did I get wrong here? With the next page being a super badass panel of him transcending like Doctor Strange, Isagi begins to think back on every major event and what he might have missed. After Kunagami became worn down and Zantetsu managed to take his mark, shidou ryusei ended up breaking free and becoming the fourth crucial piece. Despite that, Isagi still managed to recognize that faster than anyone on the field, to then read Charles' pass with immediate precision. The issue came with itoshi Rin being an absolute maniac, because even after shaking off shidou, being in an odd position, and having Isagi at his front, the madman still took the shot and scored. Rin knew that Isagi was charging forward and it would be physically risky, however he wasn't the least bit afraid by that. He actually was more immersed due to this fact and enamored by his own blood, which even Isagi thinks back on while relating to himself. What he felt first when coming into the Blue Lock program was that passion. It's not what he's sensing out of itoshi Rin. With Isagi's face then darkening in terror, he realizes that Rin has been underestimating his own talent the entire time. Blue Lock's #1 has just now realized his true talent, and that's not even the worst part to Isagi. His breaking point was itoshi Rin's dominating the field and taking every bit of attention, making him nothing more than a random supporting character to feed and awaken the beast. Rin's intensity is suddenly snatched away, however, as someone's hand grips onto his collar and yanks upward. The aggressor is none other than his own coach, Julian Loki, who stares deeply into his soul with a fully shaded face and aura to accompany it. Nanase, Karasu, and Isagi all watch along in disbelief, however Rin seems rather unfazed and simply asks what his deal is. Loki goes on to ask Rain if they played one another during Blue Lock's 3rd selection, which we know to be true thanks to the World 5 face-off. Smacking his master's hand away, Rain confirms this while asking why that even matters now. Julian Loki goes on to say that his opinion has changed of itoshi Rain since that day, because he's now an entrancing striker and a completely different person. He even goes on to crack a smile while thanking him for Charles' awakening, although if Loki should thank anyone for that, why in God's name not Shidou? Also, why is Loki just now remembering their face-off during the 3rd selection? Is this poor writing or further proof that Loki is a bum-ass coach? Either way, this bum-ass coach seems to be subbing into the game as we see him stand up and begin to take off his coat. Charles' awakening and itoshi Rain's slaughter have excited him too much, and despite his first thoughts, he now wants to play in the match. Rain looks shocked and the fans go wild after hearing the news. Julian Loki, the wonder child who has yet to play throughout the entire Neo Egoist League, has now declared he will be taking the field. Unzipping his coat as well while murmuring under his breath, Noah begins to walk onto the field, sadly having to work overtime now. Basher Munich of course must switch players to accommodate, and Yukimiya knows this, who shouts out and prepares from just behind. The two people coming out are Kunigami Orensuke and Kurona, who are both running low on gas, and let me tell you, these are devastating times for me. Not only has Kunigami been shafted for his entire revenge arc and just in the NEL overall, Kurona is now out of the match, meaning no Galaxy Hotline link up with Ness. Anyways, the players going in are of course Noah to replace Kunigami, and for Kurona, Yukimiya— oh no, I misread that. Actually it's Igarashi? Yeah, Blue Lock's very young monk. Grim, Yukimiya, and even Igarashi himself all take on confused expressions, because what is even happening in my beloved manga anymore? After years of being comedic relief, the monk has finally been given a time to shine, and by Noah of all people. My theory is that Isagi and Noah had a private discussion regarding him and his possible utilization after their talk, but I'll save that for the next video. For now, we just see everyone going ballistic over this insane substitution. Ryusei and Karasu are standing there in disbelief, with Hiyori even straight up asking what the hell Noah's thinking. Noah however seems pretty confident in his choice, so while looking back towards Igarashi, he reminds him that this is his final chance. Hail to the standing Buddha, because he has but one chance left to change his destiny. The next page of course is a badass double spread showing off both new teams, with both Master Strikers now in the game and Blue Lock's biggest threat, Igarashi the Monk, now in. With the score at 2-2, the final match reaches its climax. The point from this last goal will determine the game. With both team masters in play and the game hitting its peak, who will score this last point and become the undefeated Neo Egoist League champion? Back to the players, itoshi Rain calls out to Isagi yoichi, causing him to turn and look at the edgelord, grabbing his hair and face. He basically thanks Isagi for being his rival and admits it was a good choice, because they oppose one another like water and oil. Isagi seems confused and just stares him down, causing Rain to ask him to further hate him as it only makes him stronger. With Rain raising his hand almost to invite Isagi forward, he reminds him of his duty to try and kill him until death, the duty of a true rival. Isagi looks really bothered by Rain treating him like a side character, and this right here could be the switch up where we see Isagi's true ego. Shut up, you arrogant prick. I swear on this last goal that I will devour you back. With all the seemingly major players in this final act behind shown, Isagi is shown looking more intense and angry than ever. Even his jersey is drawn with a flaming sword and text, as itoshi arrogance pounds inside of his brain. The people shown behind him are the normal important players like Kaiser, Shidou, and Hiyori, but Igarashi and Alexis Ness are both also shown. Igarashi of course was just subbed into the game and will have his role fouling out Shidou and Rin, so it makes sense, but Alexis Ness having inclusion here is weird. It further confirms in my opinion, and I really do believe it, that he'll assist Isagi yoichi for Basher Munich's 3rd and final goal. Feel free to let me know how you personally expect the game to end, or if you agree with me on that theory. What are the specifics? With that sadly being the end of today's chapter and video, I just want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy the content I push out or want to stay updated with Blue Lock, make sure to click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and even join my community Discord down below. I hope you all go on to have an amazing rest of your day or night of rest, and I'll see you in the next video.